What's up, party people, and welcome to STONIECAST number 192 and season 6, episode 18 of Thoughts and Hunches, Making Money in Bunches, and Sucker Punches. It's your boy Stony coming back at you for the 192nd time, and I would like to welcome all of my fellow scumbags, criminals, hoodlums, lowlifes, shady characters, fugitives from justice, heathens, altar boys with unhealthy relationships with their priests, scoundrels, hustlers, wise guys, hooligans, foul-mouthed raging alcoholics, MLB players that have got into a fight with Bryce Harper. You know who you are, and thanks for watching. Cheats, gangsters, fienders with abusive language, degenerates, let's face it, anybody with a massive gambling problem. If you're new to the show, hey, that means you probably fit into one or a few of those categories, so welcome, because you're now one of us. One of us. Gooba gobba, one of us. We accept him. Sorry, just know the reference. That's all I got to say. Make sure you hit the subscribe button right down here in the lower right-hand corner. Ring that bell. That way you can get notified every time I put out a new video. To spread the word's also very easy. Just tell other degenerate scumbags and fienders you know, like Josh, to go to YouTube and enter Thoughts and Hunches into the search bar. That'll take you directly to my page, and you can get dialed into everything that I drop on you. Also, if you're new and you don't know what's what with this channel, it's college and pro football winners, MLB playoff winners, and college basketball winners. And I just give you picks. That's all I do. No player props and absolutely no parlays. Why? Because I like my money. My money's safe and sound right here in my pocket. I don't like just giving it away on stupid, frivolous parlays. Play the game. Win the game. Collect that money. Right? Now, I'm an outlier and I'm a disruptor. Right? The books don't expect a guy like me to deliver this many winners. I'm like the Beastie Boys, for God's sake. I disrupt.
Step inside the party, disrupt the whole scene.
That's precisely what I do. I go to the mattresses and I get the info for you every single week in order to get you to the window with a ticket to cash. Now, before I get to the picks, as usual, I have some thoughts.
Give me all you got. Listen, give me all you got.
That's right, Al. Let them know that. I got to start with some housekeeping notes right off the bat, okay? I'm leaving this weekend for the Yay area.
Sir, too short, coming straight from Oakland, California, home of the rock.
Yeah, something like that. That's where I'm flying into. So anyway, yeah, I'm going home for the holiday to see the familia. Next Wednesday's STONIECAST number 193 will be shot at my brother's house. With bowl season going on, there's basically games every single day, with certain days having both bowl games and NFL matchups going at the same time. For those of you that ask why I always say the weekends on Monday, it's showing my age, basically, for those of you. And I know there's plenty of them that dealt with bookies before the internet, all right? The week always ended on Monday until the end of the regular season. Then it ends on Sunday. We'll get to that on another STONIECAST. But make sure to stay tuned and check your schedules, as well as the comments section of this and every preceding and succeeding video going forward for my daily college hoop selections. Okay, now, speaking of college hoops, for those of you that haven't been watching or paying attention, Pete, you're really missing out. I know there's plenty of you that say, I don't pay attention till March, but I have to ask you, how can you have any knowledge of these teams if you don't watch, follow, or bet until March? I'm doing the research, and these early season matchups have been just as good as March, if not better, right? It seems like basically every single night we have multiple games with ranked teams facing off, whether or not they're scheduled or if they're in a tournament. They're exciting, and we're seeing some really cool shit so far. It's been awesome. Arizona, Michigan, Duke, Iowa State, Connecticut, Purdue, Gonzaga, Michigan State, they all look like they're going to be prepped for deep runs come March. right? A lot of good teams this year. The athleticism is crazy. Super freshmen, upperclassmen, and the future ballers of the NBA are all cutting their teeth and getting it done right now. Check it out if you haven't been paying attention, because this is the best postseason slate of my lifetime. Now, as for the week that was, after hitting both sides of the Army-Navy game, I started bowl season 0-2 by missing both sides of the LA Bowl. In the NFL, I hit on Thursday and I hit on Sunday, but I didn't hit much more. A depressing 6-11 week in the NFL is just awful, and the numbers are going to take a massive hit because of that to reflect it. In college hoops, my red-hot start imploded on Saturday, and I went winless on Sunday to wind up 25-25-1 on the week, giving back all my winnings for the week. Just not good. So let's take a peek at the numbers. Last week, 33 wins, 38 losses, 1 push, 46.48%. That's my first losing week after 5 straight winning weeks and only my 3rd losing week of the season out of 17. That ain't bad. Actually, that's very good. NCAA football postseason. 11 wins, 9 losses, 55%. And that's with the 0-2 last week because of the damn LA Bowl. NFL. This one's going to hurt. 137 wins, 102 losses, and 3 pushes. That's 57.32%. And that's a massive 1.7 point drop in 1 week, right? I was at 59 last week. Now I'm at the low 57s. Got to try to get to 59 with only 3 weeks left. I don't see it happening, but it is very possible. I just need to go on a quick heater here. NCAA basketball for the season. 184 wins, 137 losses, 1 push, 57.32%. Went down a bit last week, but still solid any way you look at it. The degenerate special, 12 wins, 9 losses, 57.14%. That's solid. Thursday night, 19 wins, 12 losses, 61.29%, which is excellent. Sunday night, 11 wins, 6 losses, 1 push, 64.7%. Just huge. Sunday nights, I get it going. And then there's Monday night. 8 wins, 12 losses, 40%. Just absolutely awful. NCAA football regular season is now over thanks to the Army-Navy game last week. 174 wins, 112 losses, 7 pushes, 60.84%. That's a career high for me. Unbelievable. So overall, all 17 episodes that I've given you so far this season, every single pick, and it's over 1,000 picks so far, 592 wins, 433 losses, 11 pushes. That's 57.76%, and it's a 1-point drop after reaching a season high. Now, that's not good. But I mean, when you look at it, I mean, what the heck is 57?
Wow, winning.
That's precisely what it is. Thank you for that, Charlie. I needed that. Now, once again, please remember that all these picks are 100% free. So for all the touts out there, like John Anthony and Walter from Two for the Money, they're charging you for picks, right? And they're giving you 75 to 80% winners guaranteed, documented. Bullshit. My picks are documented, right? Because I'm giving them to you right now. I don't wait. Come on. Now, if you tell me that all this shit is documented and you're 75 to 80% winners, stop. Come on. We all know you're full of shit. Plus, you're charging for these picks.
Oh!
I mean, you know, how does that happen? With me, it's very simple. Just come to YouTube every week and I'll drop my plays on you for free. Plus, I want you all to know that these are all bets that I'm personally going to make with my own money. So I'm not just throwing darts at a dartboard and blindly picking random games. Okay, you ready for this? Let's go. Away we go. Episode number 18.
Just win, baby.
There you go, Al. You tell him. The new week began yesterday, and it was a hell of a lot better than the week that ended on Monday. 5-4 in NCAA hoops is nice, but hitting both sides of the Salute to Veterans Bowl with a sprinkle definitely started out the week on the right foot. Now let's move on to tonight's docket, and let's go. College hoops. We'll start at 5 Eastern, and I'll take Northern Iowa -4.5 at Illinois, Chicago. 6:30 Eastern on FS1, I like Xavier -3.5 over Creighton. 7 Eastern on ESPN Plus, give me Mercer on the road catching 15.5 at Central Florida. 7 Eastern on ESPN Plus, got to roll with Robert Morris, a.k.a. Bobby Moe, -2.5 over Youngstown State. 7 Eastern on the Deuce, I'll take Memphis at home, catching 9.5 versus 13th ranked Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt wins, but that's a big number to lay. And I know Vanderbilt's undefeated and they're playing really well, but too many points to lay on the road. 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Plus. I like Louisiana Tech +4.5 on the road at Tulane. 8 Eastern on SEC Network. Give me 16th ranked Alabama -13.5 over South Florida. 8:30 Eastern on FS1. Let's roll with Georgetown, catching 5.5 at Marquette. 10 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. I'll take Air Force +25 at San Diego State. And to close out tonight at 10:30 Eastern on FS1, I like Arizona State catching 9.5 on the road at UCLA. That's 10 plays to get it going and get way ahead for the week, heading into a wild weekend of bowl games and NFL action with NCAA hoops going on every day. So tonight, let's get it going. The Cure Bowl at 6 Eastern on ESPN at Camping World Stadium in Orlando. 9-3 South Florida is a 3.5-point chalk versus 9-3 Old Dominion, and the total set at 53.5. Welcome to bowl season, where players have already entered the transfer portal and coaches have already been hired to coach elsewhere. It's exhausting. It really is to keep up with. But in this one, both starting quarterbacks have entered the portal, so we're not sure what to expect from the backups. Though 6-year senior Gaston Moore gets the start for USF after following Alex Golish from Central Florida to Tennessee to South Florida, and now Golish is on his way to Auburn. ODU comes in red hot while USF had a shot at the group of 5 spot in the playoff just a few weeks ago before losing to Navy. ODU's been solid all season, and this number opened at USF -6, but it's has since been bet down to 3.5, right? I like the Monarchs. I do. +3.5 right here with a sprinkle on the money line.
Sprinkle me, man.
There you go. That a boy, Earl. ODU's defense is very good, and they're good enough to keep this one under the total. Also tonight, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN at Hancock Whitney Stadium in Mobile. 6 at Mobile. Mobile, however you want to pronounce it, it's Mobile. 6-6 Louisiana is a 3-point favorite versus 6-6 Delaware, and the total's 59.5 in the 68 Ventures Bowl. The Ragin' Cajuns come in winners of 4 straight to finish in tie for second for the Sun Belt West. Delaware had their ups and downs in their first season at the FBS level. Players on both sides can be heading for the portal, especially Delaware quarterback Nick Minicucci, who put up huge numbers this year for the Blue Hens, but he hasn't said yet whether or not he's leaving. If Louisiana doesn't turn the ball over, which they've been prone to do, they're going to score on Delaware's defense as fast as the Blue Hens are going to score. But I still like Delaware here, letting it rip in a high-scoring affair. I'm going to take the Blue Hens, catching 3 and over 59.5. Tomorrow night, 9 Eastern on the Deuce at Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas. 6-6 Arkansas State is a 1.5-point favorite versus 7-5 Missouri State, and the total's 56.5 in the Xbox Bowl. The Red Wolves finished in tie for second in the Sun Belt West, while Mo State ended up 4th in Conference USA. Ark State is back in a bowl game for the 3rd straight season in their 11th in 14 years, so it's become old hat. While head coach Butch Jones is now in his 11th bowl game, and he's only the 3rd coach to lead 4 schools to bowl games, where he's 5-1 in his last 6. Now, the Bears, they lost their last 2 games and really struggled down the stretch. I like the Red Wolves here, -1.5 and over 56.5 in what should be pretty high-scoring junk. We also have NFL action going on tomorrow night, and it's a good one. 8:15 Eastern on Amazon at Lumen Field in Seatown. Shout out Mix-a-Lot. The 11-8, 11-5 Ram Chops. Is that right? 11-5? That doesn't sound right. They're not 11-5. They're 11-3. 11-3, 11-2. They're the 11-2 Ram Chops. I got that wrong. It's 12-3. I got the wrong number on there. I don't know what it is. Anyway, the Rams, the first place Rams, the team that leads the NFC, that is the number 1 seed in the NFC right now. They're 1-point road favorites at 11-3 Seattle, and the total's 44.5. This one's going to decide, it should decide who wins the NFC West, as the 2 best teams in the conference are getting after it. The Rams beat the Hawks in La La Land a month ago in that infamous game where Sam Darnold had 5 interceptions. But Seattle still almost won that game. These 2 teams are very evenly matched, and this should be a good one. I'm going to go along with the home team and the better defense right here. Seahawks +1 at home with a sprinkle.
Sprinkle me, man. Sprinkle.
That a kid. Moving on to Friday at noon Eastern on ESPN at Brooks Stadium in Conway, South Carolina. 9-4 Western Michigan's a 4-point favorite versus 10-3 Kennesaw State, and the total's 49.5 in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. 10-win Kennesaw State won their last 3 games, including taking out Jacksonville State in the Conference USA Championship game 2 weeks ago with a defensive effort that dominated. Western Michigan they've ripped off 5 straight, including a win over Miami, Ohio in the MAC championship game a couple weeks ago. Broncos quarterback Brock Lowry is a dual threat quarterback that ate up the MAC all season, and both teams bring good defenses into this one. I'm going to roll with the Owls here, catching 4 and under 49.5 in what should be a good game between 2 conference champions. Friday, 2:30 Eastern on ESPN at the Sombrero in Tampa. 7-5 North Carolina State's a 6-point favorite over 8-4 Memphis, and the total's 58.5 in the Gasparilla Bowl. This number opened at 4, and the Sharps pounced to get it all the way to 6. Memphis introduced former Southern Miss head coach Charles Huff as their new leader after Ryan Silverfield, he got plucked to go across the river to Arkansas. Memphis is a dead team walking right now with no coach and a quarterback who's leaving also after losing their last 3 games. And now they got to face a Wolfpack squad that won 3 out of 4 to close out the season. If NC State quarterback C.J. Bailey decides to enter the portal, and it doesn't look like he will, he's going to get paid from someone. And no matter where he winds up, he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the nation entering his junior year. He's here, though, for this game, and he's going to lead NC State. So jump on this number now before it gets to 8. NC State -6 and under 58.5. Friday's nightcap is the first game of the college football playoff. 8 Eastern on ABC at Gaylord Family Memorial Stadium in Norman. As 8th-ranked Oklahoma's a 1.5-point chalk over number 9 Alabama, and the total's listed at 40.5. An SEC rematch from last month when Oklahoma beat Alabama 23-21 right here in the same venue kicks off the CFP. Though the Tide dominated that game and turnovers doomed them, right? But the Tide did dominate. OU ripped off 4 straight to close out the season and punch their ticket while Alabama was on the fence, especially after getting physically assaulted by Georgia in the SEC title game a couple weeks ago. Georgia held Bama to minus 3 yards rushing. And now the Tide face an even better defense in Oklahoma that is ranked in the top 5 nationally in every single major defensive stat. OU's problem? That's the offensive end. If they haven't found the spark that they had in the first half of the season before quarterback John Mateer got injured, and he came back as a shell of his former self. I'm a defensive guy and I always hover over the better defense. But right here, right now, there's no faith in the Oklahoma offense at all. Something I never do is take prop bets, except for the Super Bowl. But Oklahoma's team total of under 20.5 looks like a huge play. Because I don't see the Sooners scoring 2 touchdowns, let alone 3. I like Bama here with the 1.5 and with a sprinkle.
Sprinkle me, man.
There you go, Earl. And I have to roll with under 40.5 here also. Just have to. I don't think either team's going to score into the 20s. 17-13 final score. With only 3 weeks left in the NFL season, that means Saturday football is back, NFL style. So this week we'll go at 5 Eastern on Big Fox at Northwest Stadium in Landover. As 9-5 Philadelphia is a 6.5-point road favorite at 4-10 Washington, and the total's 44.5. Philly's 3-game losing streak came to an end last Sunday when they shut out the Raiders, who are just a complete mess. I'll get to them in a minute, but oh my God, what a train wreck. Washington has been a disaster all season, but they beat the Giants in New Jersey on Sunday. Philly, minus 6.5. Saturday night, 8:20 Eastern on Big Fox at Soldier Field in the Windy City. 9-4-1 Green Bay is a 1.5-point road favorite at the 10-4 Bears, and the total set at 46.5. The Packers beat the Bears 2 weeks ago at Lambeau, and the winner of this one should win the NFC North. The Bears just keep on winning, and the Pack have been hit or miss, but now without Micah Parsons, they're in trouble. Their defense got torched by Denver last week, and Denver doesn't put up big numbers. And Cleveland's rushing attack, Chicago's rushing attack, they're going to be tough to stop, all right? I don't give a shit. I don't care. I'm probably stupid, but I still don't buy the Bears. Packers minus 1.5. Saturday is also a day filled with 3 more college football playoff matchups, and the first one starts at noon Eastern on ABC at Kyle Field in College Station, where 7th-ranked Texas A&M's a 3.5-point home favorite versus number 10 Miami, and the total's 51.5. CFP, baby. Gotta love it. The Canes won their last 4 after losing 2 bad games in the middle of the season that almost cost them. And in my opinion, should have cost them a shot at the playoff. It absolutely should have, right? But look at it like this. Oh, but they beat Notre Dame straight up. I don't care. I don't. They won in week 0. That might as well have been last year. You want to know why the first week or 2 of the season really doesn't matter? The Raiders beat the Patriots in week 1. How's that holding up right about now? It just doesn't exist. This was week 0. Doesn't matter. The Canes are the Canes, right? Now, with all the fervor that they dealt with over the last 2 weeks, their gift, it's a gift, and it really is. Their gift, right? We're gifting you a trip to the home of the 12th man against a really good A&M squad that went 11-0 with an SEC schedule until dropping their finale at Texas. Now, Miami's lines are elite on both sides of the ball. But Carson Beck versus Marcel Reed is a big-time mismatch. Miami has the defensive edge, but the Aggies have the edge when they have the ball. So it's strength on strength, and don't sleep on A&M's defense, though, because they cut their teeth in the SEC while Miami was playing women's lacrosse teams in the ACC. Good night, Canes. Thanks for joining us. Now go home. Aggies minus 3.5, under 51.5. Saturday's midday matchup is at 3:30 Eastern on TNT at Vaught Hemingway Stadium in the Grove. In Oxford, it's 6th-ranked Ole Miss is a 17.5-point home chalk over number 20 Tulane, and the total set at 56.5. This one is also a rematch of a game in the same venue that Ole Miss won easily 45-10 back in September in quarterback Trinidad Chambliss' second start. He's a lot more seasoned now after learning all season from some guy named Lane Kiffin, who I think I've heard of. We all know the drama that the media dropped on us regarding Kiffin, right, heading to Baton Rouge. But a lot of his staff remains here to see Ole Miss through the CFP. Tulane head coach John Sumrall is headed to the Swamp, and he's going to take over in Gainesville as soon as Tulane is done. But Tulane's done here, right? But Tulane they're allowing him to coach. Great season for the Green Wave, but this is a mismatch with or without Kiffin, right? Summerall's job at Florida will begin sometime around 7 o'clock Eastern on Saturday night after Ole Miss beats them by 25. Hotty toddy, minus 17.5, over 56.5. Saturday's nightcap, better known as the Degenerate Special, goes at 7:30 Eastern on TNT at Autzen Stadium in Eugene. His fifth-ranked Oregon's a 21.5-point home favorite versus number 24 James Madison, and the total's 50.5. 12-1 versus 11-1 shows the quality here, as Oregon's lone loss was 2 months ago to top-ranked Indiana, while Madison's lone setback was at Louisville 3 months ago. Oregon head coach Dan Lanning is not going to let up on an overmatched team. Madison head coach Bob Chesney, he's now UCLA head coach Bob Chesney, but he will be coaching Saturday night and begin his new job immediately after Oregon beats the shit out of him in the Pacific Northwest. Ducks minus 20.5 and over 50.5. After a Saturday with 2 good NFL matchups and 3 college football playoff first-round games, we head back to the dreary, boring NFL on Sunday with lots of shitty games on the schedule. But what else is new? There's lots of shitty games every single week of the NFL. It's sad. So let's start actually with a good one at 1 Eastern. It's supposed to be a good one because it means something. 1 Eastern on Fox at the Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. 7-7 Tampa Bay is a 3-point road favorite at the 7-7 Panthers, and the total's 45.5. The NFC South is the division that nobody wants to win. Just when Carolina has a big-time win, they then shit on themselves, while the Bucs have been shitting on themselves for the last 6 weeks. This is the first of 2 meetings, with the last one in 2 weeks in Tampa. Carolina keeps flip-flopping wins and losses, and they lost last week, so give me the Panthers at home catching 3 with a sprinkle on the money line.
Sprinkle me, man.
Something like that. That's what it sounded like. 1 Eastern on Fox at Snoopyville in New Jersey. 6-8 Minnesota's a 3-point road chalk at the 2-12 Giants, and the total's 44. Really? Minis won 2 in a row, but they're still shitty. The Giants have taken shitty to another level. Vikings minus 3. 1 Eastern on CBS at the Superdome in the Big Easy. We get another horrible, horrible matchup. 4-10 Nolans is a 4-point home favorite versus the 3-11 Jets, and the total's listed at 40. The Saints have won 2 in a row, and the Jets are complete garbage. Saints minus 4. 1 Eastern on CBS at Hardcock Stadium in Bienvenidos a Miami. 4-10 Cincinnati's a 2.5-point road favorite at the 6-8 Dolphins, and the total's 50.5 in another shit matchup. Since he got Joe Burrow back a few weeks ago and their offense showed significant signs of life before they got shut out at home by Baltimore on Sunday night, while Miami's 4-game win streak came to a crashing halt in Pittsburgh on Monday night. Now they're back home facing Cincy's shitty defense. Come on, forget about it. Dolphins at home plus 2.5 with a sprinkle. Why not?
Big timer. Big time. 40 Sprinkle me, man.
Not a kid, Earl. 1 Eastern on CBS at Nissan Stadium right here in Music City, USA. 6-8 Kansas City's a 3.5-point road favorite at the 2-12 Titans, and the total's 37.5. These days, both teams are clearly struggling.
Struggling.
Joe.
Struggling.
I knew that was you. One more time, Joe.
Struggling.
Thanks, Joe. The Chiefs have checked out. Let's face it, they're done. Mahomes is out and Gardner Minshew takes over against a Tennessee offense that has suddenly found some life. Titans plus 3.5 at home. 1 Eastern on Fox at Jerry World in Arlington. 6-7-1 Dallas is a 1.5 point home favorite versus the 10-4 Chargers, and the total's 49.5. San Diego, yeah, I still call them San Diego. They keep on winning while the Cowboys are just toast. Don't listen to everyone that'll tell you they have a path when they don't. They don't have a path. They're done, right? But they're favored. This is as shady can get. This is Vegas fucking with us. It really is. I don't play into these kind of traps, so I'm going to take the Cowboys, even when it makes no sense at all. Dallas minus 1.5. 1 Eastern on CBS at the Dog Pound in Cleveland. 10-4 Buffalo is a 10-point road favorite at the 3-11 Doo-Doo Browns. Shout out Uncle Luke. Then the total's 42. Buffalo's been uneven all season, right? But they had a statement win in Foxborough last week, and they look like they're just kind of going through the motions until the playoffs. Their defense is not good, and this is an opportunity for Cleveland's shitty offense to do something and not get blown out at home. Browns plus the 10 at home. That's got to be it, right? That's it for the week. Oh, wait, hold on. You mean there's more?
No, I'm just getting warmed up.
Sure there is. There's a lot more. Okay? 4 Eastern on Fox at State Farm Stadium in Glendale. 5-9 Atlanta is 2.5 point road favorite at the 3-11 Cardinals, and the total's 47.5. This is just horrible. I mean, every week the majority of the matchups are just putrid. Cardinals at home plus 2 and a hook, I guess. 4 Eastern on Fox at Mile High Stadium in Denver. The 12-2 Broncos are 3-point home chalk versus 10-4 Jacksonville, and the total's 45.5. Good one. There's a very good chance that these two will cross paths again in January, and both teams are smoking hot. Denver had a statement win over Green Bay last week, while Jacksonville's best win was over the Chargers last month. Am I naive to still not believe in Denver? Maybe so. Jags plus 3 on the road in a surprise. Which really, it's not really a surprise, but it'll be a surprise to the media, and especially Colin Cowherd. 4:25 Eastern on CBS at NRG Stadium in H-Town. The 9-5 Texans are 14.5 point home favorites over 2-12 Las Vegas, and the total's 38. I don't even know where to start. The Raiders are so bad, right? They've been shut out twice, 31-0 and 31-0. Now, last week, Dallas Goedert, the tight end for Philadelphia, had 75 yards receiving against the Raiders. The Raiders had 74 yards of passing as a team and had 7 first downs. I mean, it's horrible. And they fired Chip Kelly and instead of freaking Pete Carroll. Makes no sense. The organization is a complete and utter disaster. He's making money, though. Mark Davis is getting paid, right? I mean, I don't understand what kind of Raider fan would actually go to that stadium, pay all that money, and watch them get bludgeoned. Now, granted, this one's in NRG Stadium, right? The Raiders are clearly the worst team in the NFL, and they got shut out last week. They're going to get shut out again. Texans, minus 14.5. The best defense in the NFL. I mean, come on. 4:25 Eastern on CBS at Ford Field in Detroit Rock City. The 8-6 Lions are 7-point home chalk over 8-6 Pittsburgh, and the total set at 52. Detroit keeps flip-flopping wins and losses these days, and that's not going to help them get into the playoffs, especially after losing to the Ram Chops on Sunday, while the Steelers took out Miami on Monday night for their second straight win, which followed inevitably 2 straight losses. But their defense has almost as many issues as head coach Dan Campbell does. And he's got a lot of issues. Lions win, but Pitt covers, possibly through the back door right here. Steelers on the road, catching a touchdown because they're going to need some alligator blood and hang around.
Hanging around. Kids got alligator blood.
Absolutely. After waiting all day for Sunday night to see Carrie Underwood's iconic legs, and they are iconic, 8:20 Eastern on NBC at M&T Bank Stadium in the Charm City, the 7-7 Ravens are 3-point home favorites over 11-3 New England, and the total's 48. Baltimore hasn't been themselves this year, with or without a healthy or not Lamar Jackson. And New England took a gut punch on Sunday after blowing a 3-touchdown lead at home to Buffalo. And now they have to travel to Baltimore. This number's fishy. It is 7-7. The Ravens haven't beaten anybody at all season long, right? Now they're home and they're laying a field goal to the Patriots. Everybody takes the Patriots and everybody loses. I'll take the Ravens, even though I like New England. Baltimore -3. The beauty of this time of year is that there's basically bowl games every day. And Monday is no different. Hold on. That was, Monday, 2 Eastern on Monday at Albertson Stadium on the Smurf Turf in Boise, where 6-6 Utah State is a 3-point favorite versus 6-6 Washington State, and the total's listed at 52.5 in the Idaho Potato Bowl. Neither school found their groove this year as Utah State finished 7th in the Mountain West, while Washington State is still in what's left of the Pac-12, though it's referred to as the Pac-2 this year. The college coaching carousel hit Wazoo in order. And just like this, Iowa State head coach Matt Campbell, he's headed to Penn State. Washington State head coach is going to replace Campbell in Ames, meaning the Cougars will get defensive coordinator Jesse Bobbitt as their interim coach until former Missouri offensive coordinator Kirby Moore takes over after this game. Did that make any sense to you? Should. Wazoo just lost another coach, right? Which seems to be happening annually. And typically a Mountain West Conference team plays hard against Pac-12 schools, even though Wazoo's technically not in a power conference. Utah State -3 and under 52.5. And finally, to close out the week, 8:15 Eastern on ESPN at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. 10-4 San Francisco's a 5.5-point road chalk at the 8-6 Colts, and the total's 46.5. The Niners keep on winning as Brock Purdy gets healthier every single week, and the Colts are starting a grandfather. Sure, they looked good last week in Seattle, but that was a mirage. Niners -5.5 to close out the week. Now that's the end of the betting week, but with STONIECAST 192 not dropping until Wednesday, the new week begins, and so do more bowl games on Tuesday. 2 Eastern on ESPN at FAU Stadium in Boca, where 8-4 Louisville's an 8.5-point favorite over 8-4 Toledo, and the total's 44.5 in the Boca Raton Bowl. Louisville stumbled down the stretch, losing 3 in a row before they rebounded to blow out in-state rival Kentucky on Thanksgiving weekend, while Toledo lost their last 4 and ended up in a tie for second in the MAC. But they lost out on a tie break to Miami for a shot at the MAC championship game. The problem is that head coach Jason Candle, he's headed for Connecticut, and Mercer's Mike Jacobs takes over after this game. No coach, no quarterback, and half of the team heading to the transfer portal against the Jeff Brom coach Louisville team that's approaching lock status. Cardinals -8.5 and over 44.5. 5:30 Eastern Tuesday on ESPN at the Superdome in the Big Easy. 8-4 Western Kentucky's a 4-point favorite versus 7-5 Southern Miss, and the total's 55.5 in the New Orleans Bowl. Western Kentucky's loss to Jacksonville State in their last game of the regular season cost them a shot at the Conference USA title game, finishing third, while Southern Miss finished in a tie for second in the Sun Belt West. Head coach Charles Huff left for Memphis, and quarterback Braylon Braxton is likely heading to the portal. I like the Hilltoppers here, laying the 4 and under 55.5. Tuesday night, 9 Eastern on ESPN at the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas. 10-3 Nevada, Las Vegas is a 4.5-point favorite versus 8-4 Ohio, and the total 62.5 in the Frisco Bowl. UNLV won their last 4 games of the regular season to get to the Mountain West title game, where they were beat up by Boise State, while Ohio finished in a tie for second in the MAC, but missed out on the title game because of a tiebreaker. Vegas quarterback Anthony Calandria has had a monster season in Sin City. Both teams can score, and neither has a very good defense, but I still see the Rebels pulling away late to take this one. -4 and over 62.5 in a shootout. That's 18 NFL plays to go along with 4 more college football plays and daily NCAA hoop selections. Make sure to check out the comments section every day for more college hoops, which are just going to keep on coming from now all the way until April. All right? Did I say 4 more college football? There's a ton of college football in there. So it's just, my numbers are a little bit skewed. They're off. But, yeah. Keep your eye out next week for STONIECAST 193, which is going to drop on Wednesday. So until then, just remember, if you want to win big, you got to bet big. You can't go broke taking a profit. Scared money don't make money. The less you bet, the more you lose when you win. Shout out Chris the Bear FALLICA. For me, the action is the juice. Tell him, Mikey, what did it sound like?
Well, for me, the action is the juice. I'm in.
Of course you're in. So am I. I'm in, Mike. The difference between winning and making money is that anyone can win betting chalk, but you can't make money unless you take the dogs. Here's a new one for you. God made life a gamble, and we're still in the game. Shout out to the late Joe Diffie. There's money on the streets that can't be ignored. And finally, good luck to you. Still miss you, Gooch. My brother, I'm supposed to see you this Sunday. I'm going to miss you. I still miss you every single day.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.